Good morning, everybody. So I wanted to check back in. I know that I said I will be looking at this theme of connection throughout the month of June, observing how that theme comes up personally, professionally, blah, blah, yada, yada, blah, blah. So the thing that is on my mind today is about how connection and belonging are more than just like a feeling. It's more than just like feel good individual thing. And what made me think about this was that there's a parenting group that I'm in, like one of those Facebook groups. Someone asked a question about how to handle something with their child if anyone had a similar experience. So I commented because I had not the exact same experience, but things similar enough that I could offer my personal perspective. And then I just had naturally the social worker and the clinician in me had a whole bunch of questions because in general, I think when we're problem solving, sometimes we just leave it wide open. Like, I need money, or my kid don't listen, or my kid keep fighting. And it's like, wait a minute, what's really going on here, And so we got to ask some more questions to get to the root of what the actual problem is. Are they fighting because they're being bullied? Are they fighting because they're bullying? Are they fighting because that's what the people around them are doing? Are they fighting because they watch baddies all the time? Like, did they just start fighting out of nowhere? Have they always had this type of energy? We got questions. And in answering those questions, we can get a more accurate solution for the situation at hand. So I comment, and that was just an example. The person wasn't talking about fighting, but I give my personal experience and I offer some questions to consider to better understand what exactly the problem is and how to address it. And then the last thing that I shared was that when it comes to your kids and when you feel at a loss, one of the most effective and accurate strategies to use is to think about how you relate to whatever is happening for them. Like, is it a behavior or a pattern or an emotion that you had when you were their age? When you were their age, what were you thinking? What were you feeling? What was your motivation? How were you handling it? Did you even know that what you were doing was a problem? How did you know? What did you need? Did anyone help you through it? Did anyone guide you through it? How can you replicate that? Did anyone try to intervene in a way that was not helpful? What did you learn from that? What were they missing? What did you actually need to use that information to inform how you show up for your child? And I think that there's this common saying and this common belief that there is no playbook for parenting, but there is. The playbook for parenting is you. Like, of course, there is science. Like, we understand children are people, and we understand how people develop physically, psychologically, emotionally, socially, spiritually across the lifespan. And because we can track that, we can put whatever is happening with your child in the context of what we know about development across the lifespan for people, because they are little people. Now, I'm not what's the word I want to use? Everything ain't for everybody. So some of these methodologies and some of these structures and programs and belief systems, they not really built for us and our kids. So that's something to be mindful of. That's something to be conscious and intentional about. But there is science, there is technology to help us. Technology in terms of like a system that applies the science that we know. Not necessarily technology like AI and computers, but technology in terms of a system, right? There are things that exist that help us to understand children because children are little people. But those people don't spring up from nowhere. Those people come from their parents. Those parents come from their parents, and so on and so forth. So the playbook for recognizing how to support your children and using the most effective strategies to address whatever their needs are, because usually it's complicated. It's a whole lot going on at one time. Is to look at those children's parents and those children's parents and the other offspring, the siblings, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles. You and your family are the playbook for raising your children. So being connected to yourself, understanding your own life experiences, how your life experiences have shaped you, the things that nourish you, the places where people drop the ball, the things you're still struggling with and trying to learn, all of that will help you, will guide you. That will be your playbook on raising your children. The more connected you are with your family and your family stories, you will have a more well-rounded playbook, right? Because one of my daughters, for example, she always just had like this stuffy, raspy voice. She's had that ever since she was a baby. Her cries, they all sounded like that. When she started talking, one of her aunts was like, she wanted her adenoids taken out. We was like, what? She was like, you hear her? You hear how she's talking? You hear how she kind of sounds congested all the time, but there's not really nothing in there? She wanted her adenoids taken out. We was like, how you know? She's like, because I had that. I needed that, right? Sure enough, baby snoring all crazy. And we take her to the doctor one day. They try all types of like allergy stuff. And I'm like, it's not an allergy, so we probably got to take her adenoids out, right? Her aunt knew that. And we were able to take relatively early action because her aunt informed us. Because the baby was around her aunt. We were connected. So that is important. There are some behaviors I see, and I'm like, that is my mother. Or one of my daughters, she eats just like my brother used to eat. So I say that to say, connection and belonging, like it feels great when you are in a space where you feel heard and understood and you have a place and like you fit and like you are loved. That's beautiful. It's a great feeling. It helps you to feel safe and secure and nourished, ready to take on the world. But the benefits of connection and belonging go beyond that. This is what helps us to sustain ourselves, to sustain our families, to access wisdom that is specific to us that only we have access to. Now, of course, we know that everyone is not always in relationship to their family for valid reasons. And again, we have spiritual technology for that. Because even if you don't speak to your family, or if your family has passed on, they are no longer physically present, you are still spiritually and energetically connected to those people. There are spiritual and energetic things, technologies, tools to use to retrieve that information. Biologically, genetically, you are those people. So there are biological and genetic tools to help you retrieve that information. So I would encourage you, as we continue to explore connection and belonging, to understand all of the different ways that connection and belonging can enhance your life, and to find the tools biologically, genetically, physically, relationally, socially, spiritually, energetically, to help you access and understand and use that information. All right? Have a good day, y'all.